Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite time of the week again. I said that once before, but my thing was muted because my piece of shit thing here isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Love it, love it. When things that are supposed to work don't, they can all go fuck themselves. So, welcome to Topic of Conversation. I am, of course, your host, David Cobb. I am here to please you. I'm here to make you laugh. I'm here to make you cry. I'm here to make you think. I'm here to make you think dirty thoughts. I'm here to make you think happy thoughts. I'm here for the happy endings. I just want to remind everybody. Look at that. Right off of the bat, Mr. Hawaiian Cobra, thank you very much. We're going to listen to the song first, and I'll talk some more.
Welcome Raiders, welcome in. Okay, go, let's now begin. It's a raid, make a way for this raid.
Long song. That's a long song. Thank you, Cobra. How are you doing tonight? Were you able to win any of those games? I saw that, not the last one, but the one before that, second place. Boy, that was close. I really thought you were gonna have that one. Not a one. Really sad about that, but you know what? You played, you had fun. That's what matters, right? Everybody gets a trophy. I was actually thinking about jumping in with you, but I had a hankering for a little bit more caffeine. I wound up going to the store and buying this. In case you're wondering, I'm not sponsored by Monster, but I'm open to, open to conversation. Speaking of conversations, tonight you are in for a special treat. We do have a very exciting topic chosen by our very own Hawaiian Cobra, who, by the way, is going to be moderating tonight, so be careful not to piss him off because he has fire knives and he knows exactly where to shove them. I mean, how to use them. I don't know. So yeah, big ol' shout out to Mr. Hawaiian Cobra for the raid and also for hanging out with us tonight and doing the right stuff. And also a big thank you to Mr. Adrian Tempish, who has provided for us our lovely background. It is, it's a snake. It's a snake. Now, I don't think he expected me to do all of this with it, though, but I have framed my lovely face. I am, in fact, a piece of artwork, so you're welcome for that. So we're going to have some fun tonight. Before we get started, though, I had to write this stuff down, because the last couple of weeks... Whoa! That's fucking wow! Let's go! So, a big, huge thank you to Mr. President Streaming for the subscription. If you're wondering, he actually did that last week on the stream. I don't know why it's just now deciding to pop up here. But, huge shout out. Speaking of subs, if you are interested in subscribing, you are of course welcome to. You're not by any means required to. Prime subs is an absolutely free way for you to support this show. There's also other ways, tips, what are they called, bits and whatnot. I don't pay that much attention to them. I'm not here for the money, like I said. I'm here to pleasure you. I'm here to pickle out your funny spots. I don't feel good about that one. Where was I? Okay, so I had to write things down. So I have notes this week. First and foremost, of course, I do have to go over our disclaimer. But before I do, I just want to show you my notes because I got this cool notepad. I'm a father of 3 children, and I was gifted for Father's Day a notepad. And on the bottom of all of the pages, there are dad jokes. So I'm going to go ahead and just regale you for a moment with some fantastic dad jokes. So I'm going to ask you a question. You can answer the question. Oh, sometimes they're not questions, so I'm just kidding. This one says, I'm so good at sleeping that I can do it with my eyes closed. The music is loud. Okay. I appreciate you letting me know that. And actually, thank you for reminding me of that because every time I was editing a video this week, I was going, damn, the music's too loud. So So thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, so did anybody laugh at my joke? Anybody? Bueller? That's a reference to a movie from when I was young. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Well, I liked it, but I didn't. That's okay. That just shows that you are, in fact, a dad. It's like you like it, but only because it's like inborn. So the next one here is, can February March? No, but April May. Let's go to this one. So this is actually from last week's notes from our super real and 100% truthful discussion about the war in Russia, Ukraine, all that. But this one's actually really good. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. And I'm gonna give you one more because I am taking notes tonight. This is the whole pad, so it's enormous. It's dad jokes, 365 days of them. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. The prices are astronomical. That's good. I like it. I'm glad you laughed. I wish I could get my fucking loop deck to work so I could manage the volume properly. But alas, it is not in the cards tonight. So the last joke for today, before I actually get to what I was originally talking about, before I started thinking about how funny these jokes are, how much you all would love them so much. What do sprinters eat before a race? Nothing. They fast. And I gotta say, though, they fast. So that's how it writes it. They fast. They fast. Get it? Because they're sprinters. Jeebus. Although, honestly, without the J, I would have to call that Gebus. Gebus. I heard the topics are going to be interesting. Yes, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, the most important disclaimer you will ever receive in your entire life. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Topic of Conversation. This podcast contains explicit depictions. I always say depictions, it's not even a word. Depictions of things which are real. These real things are commonly known as life. So, protect your family. This, I forget how it goes. Protect your family. Oh, because I did the wrong part first. Welcome to the podcast. This American Apple Pie institution known as Parental Discretion. It's meant to cleanse this podcast of any innuendo or sarcasm which might actually make you think. And will also insult your intelligence at the same time. See, last week when I did this, I actually had it in front of me. I was just reading it, you know. The Offspring delivers it so much better. Maybe I can avoid copyright rules for a second and let y'all just hear it one of these days. But yeah, so it contains explicit depictions of things which are real. The real things are commonly known as life. So if it offends you, don't take it seriously. If it sounds dangerous, do not try it at home or at all. And if it offends you, just don't listen to it. Okay? We are going to say things tonight that very well may offend people. I don't care. You can be offended if you so choose. Again, if you don't like it, you can just, move on. So that said, any opinions given tonight are that of the individual giving them. That could be me. That could be any of our viewers who choose to participate, which I have a feeling at least a few of them will. One has me holding the bridge of my nose. I don't know what that means. All right, moving on. So yeah, there's probably going to be swearing and stuff like that. There was something else I wanted to say that wasn't on this list, and now I forgot what it is because I didn't write it down on my damn list. Let's go over humble opinions and cancel points real quick. Humble opinions are your ticket to choosing next week's topic. So the viewer with the most humble opinions at the end of the stream gets to pick what we're going to be talking about next week. So that is going to be entirely up to you. We are going to have some rules. I'm going to set some rules based on what we've kind of done the last 3 weeks. One thing is going to be topics can't hit real close to home the way that tonight's topic is, just because I do want to try to keep the conversation a little bit more generalized as far as world events and things that are happening, whether it be, you know, in the news, in entertainment, this, that, or the other. I would like to have fun conversations that aren't really just so nuanced, and the one in particular tonight, you know, we'll have some fun with it, but it's not really gonna be the kind of format that we'll see in the future. That said, the second person who has this, the person who has the second most humble opinions is going to pick our background for today. So Adrian was our winner last week. He picked this. Hawaiian Cobra picked our topic tonight, and I guess I may as well go ahead and introduce the topic of conversation tonight, which is, and I have to read this word for word because it's a long one. So the topic of conversation tonight is, and I quote, "The history of all your relationship with the most venomous snake in Hawaii, Hawaiian Cobra." Cobra absolutely will love it. He picked it, and it's about him. Why should he not love it? What is there not to love about Hawaiian Cobra? Oh, maybe some things will come out tonight. Maybe we'll find out. That said, back to the humble opinions and cancel points. So if you look at the channel points, they are my cancel points because, let's be honest, probably I'm going to say something that's going to get me canceled at some point. But I do encourage, and nay, I insist that viewers participate. So that means, you know, make noise, hit those alert buttons, all the sounds that are in the app thingy down that way. I guess they're over there. Pointing in the right place. I don't know. Those are all free to use, so go ahead and push whatever you want. If you have channel points, there are other ones over here. I've added a few more. I've reduced pricing on them as far as channel points go, just to encourage some friendly competitions, that one person can't just come in with tens of thousands of points and win out the whole night. Hawaiian Cobra. So that is that. Cobra. Cobra wants this to be a nice little recap about the last 2 years. Clearly, he hasn't gotten to know me very well in the last 2 years.
Fast, eat ass, boys. Let's go.
Drop fast, eat ass, boys. Let's go. Move it, move it, move it. Thank you for that. Using cancel points will earn you humble opinions. So one for every cancel point that you spend. Same thing with bits. One for every bit that you spend. If you want to, again, donations and anything that actually costs real money is 100% not necessary. Appreciated. But definitely, if you want to participate, it is 100% free to do so. It will not in any way change your ability to pick a topic if you win that particular part of the thing. Oh, I rated myself with over here. I'm like, how did that get there? So that's that. Back to my list. Do you see how easily I get distracted? This is ridiculous. Explain the rules. I think that was the rules. I explained it, right? Okay, that was the rules. We're good. Rules are, there really aren't rules as far as the conversation goes. Just don't say anything that's going to get me banned. Where was the recording? Oh, it's ridiculous. Where are we gonna send off the things we're gonna be on the Spotify's? And we do post. I can't talk. We do post the podcast, an audio version only, every week on Monday in the mornings, so that you can hear it. Episode 3 is live now on Spotify for audio only. You'll also find that episode on YouTube. That is audio and video, so check that out. Like it, comment on it, make me famous, and not for the reasons that I want to be famous. I have a very nice O face. Maybe you'll see it someday. Also check out our TikTok, because throughout the week I am posting little shorts, under 1 minute shorts. We're putting those on Facebook and also on TikTok. I find them hilarious, so you should too. You can find all of my socials rotating through right over here. So YouTube is Milkman BSGE. You're gonna have to search YouTube because they don't like I don't have enough followers, so I'm not famous enough for them. Check jumping out here. I didn't get the recording going on my vertical one, so anything funny I've set up to this point is going to be just a pain in my ass to verticalize. We are still kind of feeling things out, so as we go on through the weeks, you know, things can change from time to time, just the way that we operate, and that is okay. Just bear with us, you know, if you want to make suggestions on what we can do better for the conversation, for the whatever 4'8" oh, I missed that. Sometimes you've heard of like selective hearing. I have that with my brother sometimes. When he pops into a room, it's like I don't see him, which is amazing because he's enormous. How short? Under 5 foot. Nice. How short? Okay. That. But look, Mr. President can vouch for me. Like, I am not on point tonight. That's why I got this enormous Monster energy drink. Zero Ultra. It's the white one, guys. Go get it. Delicious. There's more on my list, I know. Just bear with me. Don't worry, Cobra, we'll get to you. We are going to open up voice-only requests if anybody has something they want to say. Same rules apply there. Don't be a dick, and don't say anything that's going to get me canceled. There's a list. No, not that list. I don't have a list. I'm going to go completely off of memory with you. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to go through, like, our entire Discord history. Yeah, all of it. It's be a fun time tonight, guys. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. Participate. I can't say it enough, guys. Absolutely, you're welcome to request audio if you want to come in and say what up, or if you want to say something super awesome about Hawaiian Cobra. Let's get started. Let's get into it. So the topic of conversation tonight is centered entirely around Hawaiian Cobra, who, if you didn't get it by his name, he is in fact a snake in Hawaii. He is a Hawaiian Cobra. This is a representation of him. As provided by Adrian, because obviously this is a cobra. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if this is a cobra. I feel like we should look that up. Does anybody else feel like we should look up what kind of a snake this is? I want to look it up. My eyes aren't as pretty, but I like it. It looks like a viper to me, champ. Boy, you call me champ one more time and I will slap you so hard. Mom's gonna feel it. Can't make that happen. That's a problem. Band hammer. I don't have a band hammer. I need Senpai's band hammer. His long hammer. Like that. Yellow viper snake. Is the best search queries. Eyelash viper. That thing's freaky. All right, I'm the only one looking at this. I know. Back to the conversation. Okay. Calm down there, champ. Which one? Me? No calm. You don't know what calm is. Meanie head. Also, you skipped over my message again. Which message? Hang on, I'm being disturbed. Who is it? Somebody knocked at my door. Probably my wife telling me to quiet down because the kids are going to sleep. Guess what I'm not gonna do? Don't just stand over there, Cobra. You are 100% welcome to participate. In fact, I encourage it. You don't get to pick next week's conversation. Just saying. All right. So listen, we are talking about Hawaiian Cobra, and so I had to go back to my first conversation with Hawaiian Cobra on Discord because I don't remember the conversation that we actually had like voice-wise. The way that I met Cobra is actually a really interesting story. So I was in Canada a couple of summers ago, and I don't know why I was up there. Actually, I think it was for work or for vacation. But I had a friend who owned a moose farm, and this was before I started streaming, before the whole milkman thing came about, and so I was really just trying to find myself, and so I went up to Canada to visit my friend with the moose farm. You don't say, but it cold up there, don't you know? Well, I mean, you should know. But actually, it was on this moose farm where I first met Cobra in person. You see, I did in fact mistake him for a moose. It wasn't his fault. It was the way he was standing, and it was summertime in Canada, so there wasn't like snow or anything like that. They didn't have wildfires the way they're having now. God bless them. Hopefully, the people up there are safe, and also there's definitely no conspiracy going on with that. It's definitely 100% natural that started that way. Any opinions on that? Anybody? I forgot about your Canadian trip. Yo, that's when you met him? That's crazy. I know. I don't talk about it, actually, because it was kind of an awkward meeting at the time, because my Canadian buddy, who owns a moose farm, was like, hey, if you really want to get in with the moose, and I do accents, so if you want to get in with the moose, how did I get in? I snuck in. I was an illegal immigrant for a little while in Canada, at least. And I never got a passport, and Canadians don't really like white people. I know, it seems weird, really, but they don't. So, I went up there. They're trying to poison us with Canada smoke. Sounds like a real trip, actually. They got mushrooms in their forests. Florida doesn't have mushrooms. Alright, Florida has mushrooms. I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, while I was living illegally in Canada for a little while with my Canadian friend who owns a moose farm, he told me, hey, the best way to make friends with a moose, don't you know, is if you go up to the moose and you say, hey, moose, and then you slap him on the ass real good, real hard there. And so I walked up to what I thought was this moose's ass, and I just slapped the shit out of it. Turns out it was not shit coming out of it. I slapped Cobra so hard that he just threw up everywhere. I don't know what he ate, but it was just brown and shit like. Maybe it was magic mushrooms. Maybe that's what it was. He was up there foraging for mushrooms, but he was butt naked out in the forest of Canada. Not sure what that was all about, but there he was. No mooses around, actually. Now I think about it, I look back on this trip pretty fondly, but now that I really kind of think about it, I never saw a single moose up there, and I'm starting to wonder if that friend actually had any mooses on his moose farm at all. Anyway, I never saw him again. But the reason for that was immediately after Cobra stopped throwing up, he got real big like a bear, and I was like, it's a bear, and I started running. I took off. Next thing I know, I'm lost in the Canadian forest. Luckily, I met up with this really cool group of hippies who were going on a raft trip, and I was like, cool, I like whitewater rafting. A lot of fun, and so I hopped into their raft with them, and we started going down the river. Craziest thing though is I look back as we get in the water, and there's this just big brown naked ass just swimming at us like a friggin' shark, and Cobra was after me. He was not ready to let me go yet, but he climbed over into the raft there, and he had words. I didn't understand a single one. He kept saying, oh, this is pigeon, brah. Why can you not hear me, brah? And I didn't understand a word he was saying, so I just, smile and nod and pretended like I knew what he was talking about. And then I was like, oh, cuz. no can. And he was like, oh, brother, you speak the language, the Inoa. And I'm like, oh yeah, come on, aina ao. And he's all like, ah, ole. And I was like, I know, I'm actually a haole. And then I mean, we hit it off from there, and we've been buddies ever since. So that's the way that I met Hawaiian Cobra. And it's all true, it's a fact, and if you don't believe me, well, you can go fuck yourself. That's right. It was inspiring. And I did fail to mention just how hairy Cobra's ass was. I should really point that out because it was an immense amount of man fur. Yes, it was. So, anyway, so I have taken the liberty of collecting other people's stories of how, not just how they met Cobra. I'm not going to say who provided me with what information because I just don't want that to be, too embarrassing for them or for Cobra. But what do you do when you have no shame? Right? No shame at all. You couldn't find a wax salon that could take me in Canada. Well, actually, it turns out there aren't any wax salons in Canada. It's against their religion. It's 100% against their religion. And if you want to ask me what religion Canada is, I'll tell you. Not today. That's not the topic of conversation today. It does. It explains that a lot. So, that is that. I do want to share one particular story. Because when we think of snakes, I mean, let's be honest, we think of penises. There's actually a really good sound alert in the cancel points section there that goes with that particular statement. So if any of y'all want to go ahead and drop that if you find it. We do think about penises a lot. Oh, I forgot actually one thing on my list. If I say it now, it's gonna be.
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay. I'm all the way gay.
All the way.
I'm completely homosexual.
100%.
In every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
If that's what it means. It's actually really well timed. Thank you guys for participating. President, I'm glad that you found that particular sound bit there. I really enjoyed that. It is a long one. It is, but I think it really drives the point home. Yeah, I think it really makes sure everybody knows exactly what's what. So, excuse me. Go. Thing in my. So this person, after getting to know Cobra for a few months, actually asked him how he came up with his name, the Hawaiian Cobra, which I've always been curious. I've never had the. It's always become phallic. I've never had the balls to ask him because, you never know. I never asked him, but this person asked him, how did you come up with the name Hawaiian Cobra?
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay.
I feel like
I'm all the way gay.
this is maybe going to.
I'm completely homosexual.
Too much.
In every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
It is, yes. Damn it.
Dicks!
Dicks again. Perfect. And that works. That's nice. I like that. So back to my super important story that definitely came from somebody else and was not something that I made up. So Cobra tells this person that he knew of the only snake on the island. And this person asked him how, and he said because their snakes are not native to the Hawaiian Islands. This is how he talks. I should try to, because they are snakes are not. I'm going Arnold there. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to even try that anymore. Oh, because there's snakes not native to the Hawaiian Islands, bro. I can't do it right now. He proceeded to tell him that he always brought him being his snake everywhere he went. Then he got the picture. And he told him his story about the first time that he tried to use that line on a lady friend. Ooh, Cobra and his lady friends. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna wait this one out. Gonna wait it out. I actually I meant to hit the ad break button, but we're waiting. Or good waiting. We're all just waiting for this ad to end. Okay. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! All right, sorry about that, guys. I saw the ad was coming up, and there it was. Anyway, so I'm gonna start back at the beginning because I think that was a minute and a half ad, so you probably missed most of what was said. So this person, after getting no Cobra for a few months, asked him how he came up with his name, the Hawaiian Cobra, and he told him that he knew of the only snake on the island. He asked how, because their snakes are not native to the Hawaiian Islands, and he proceeded to tell this person that he always brought with him everywhere he went. He always brought the snake with him wherever he went. Then he got the picture. He told him the story about the first time he tried to use that line on a lady friend. We all know about Hawaiian Cobra's lady friends. And this is, I'm going to take this as this is Cobra's words now to this other person explaining the story. He says, after having a few drinks out in Waikiki and clubbing along the popular tourist destinations, he met up with this gorgeous Australian woman. Australian, she's Aussie. Yeah. Try another shimp on the babby. That's how they talk. All of them. They went to the bar. Which bar, pray tell? Sat down and chatted while they had a few drinks, then began to dance. Ooh, did he whip his Cobra out on the dance floor? Sounds about right. And with a smirk, he went... Oh, I skipped the line, sorry. After a little while, Cobra asked her, do you want to see the only snake on the island back at my place? With a smirk, then they went back to his place. He undoes his pants, shows her in all his glory, and asks, think you can charm the largest Cobra on the island? She replied with, I don't know where this Cobra is supposed to be, but you can freshen my breath with that Tic Tac. Cobra, that's a true story. It was Blue Moon. Spend a few dollary dues. Oh, dollary dues. Got it. Alright. Cobra's laughing at his own story. He remembers when it happened. She said, I robbed you wrong time. Or something to that effect. That's good. That's good. Alright. So we're really happy to have Cobra. If anybody doesn't know Hawaiian Cobra, definitely go and check him out. He streams daily? Pretty frequently. Cobra, I didn't think he liked Australians. He doesn't like white women in general. Like, oh, howly, brah. Get me that kimchi. Ended up not being a long time. Your Cobra ended up not being very long, is what you're saying? That's what it sounds like. I got it. So, Hawaiian Cobra. Aeolus, I think, was trying to... There it is. It came up. I'm just dumb. It's alright. Blue Panda 842. I would apologize for any lewd conversation that this sausage fest provides. But I'm not. I'm not sorry. Just to correct stream elements right there, Cobra is not currently playing Fortnite. He was, and in his own words, he did not win one game. And I can vouch for that because I was watching. So it's true. He didn't win that game. So let's talk about Cobra. Let's talk about Hawaiian Cobras in particular, because he keeps talking about snakes not being in Hawaii. What are you doing over there? Sad Panda. She's not sad. Sag indeed. Somebody had to say Sag. Somebody needs to catch me up on my Twitch lingo. Alright. So, let's see here. Now we can say nice things about Cobra. There was this one time that Cobra and I were actually walking down the beach in Waikiki. We were holding hands in a totally platonic way. We didn't have any pants on. And we were like, hey man, let's go for a swim. And he was like, I'm already swimming in your eyes. And I was like,
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay. I'm all the way gay. I'm completely homosexual in every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
Yeah. So I know. Yeah. So you know what's funny is I haven't even been looking at like our points. I'm kind of curious. Y'all are playing a lot of sounds, and I like that. We're having fun. We're doing it. What I'd like to do actually, while I continue to look up conversations that Cobra and I have had that can make him feel really uncomfortable, but less uncomfortable than the time when he copped a feel when we were actually going to my parents' house. He was like, and I was like, woohoo! That's the sound I make when I get my butt squeezed. Like it was embarrassing for all of us, really. But I invite anybody who wants to say anything about Cobra or anything else. Ask him about his political affiliations, his religious beliefs. You know, definitely pop on. Requests are open for audio, so click that button. I'll be happy to facilitate your totally inappropriate comments. In the meantime, while we're we had another fucking ad break. Are you fucking kidding me? See, one place tells me I am, the other place tells me I'm not. Okay, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. So yeah, Cobra copping a feel. Y'all come and talk about other things too. That's a question. I'm gonna say yes. Right. So I do want to go back to some of the conversations that Hawaiian Cobra and I have had because it's really important that we get some serious truth out there. Not that anything I've said up to this point was not true. It's presented in a really funny way. The Canadian part wasn't true. We were actually in Bangladesh. And if anybody doesn't know, I actually used to raise cows in Bangladesh, and that's actually where I met Hawaiian Cobra, because he was actually trying to immigrate to Bangladesh from Hawaii, and he'd been on a raft for months. When he finally got there, he met me. I actually found him trying to eat one of my cows. He was just actually gnawing on its leg, and these cows, they're super docile, so they're just kind of like, what's happening? And I'm like, hey man, get your mouth off my cow. And he turned to me, and he's crazy, right? He's out of his mind because he's been on his raft for months, and he looks at me and he just goes, moo. And I thought it was hilarious, so I busted a gut laughing, rolling on the ground laughing, covered in cow poop and whatnot. And he comes over, he starts rolling the cow poop with me, and we went back to my place, had a shower, and sat next to the fire and watched some Bollywood. It was nice, actually. It was really nice.
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay.
Super gay.
I'm all the way gay.
All the way.
I'm completely homosexual.
Yes,
in every imaginable way, if that's
all
what it means
ways.
to be gay.
I love that it's so long. I really actually appreciate that. I'm glad I found that one. Panda, yeah, well, it does slip off of my tongue, and I'll be honest with you, I was surprised that it came off so well without lubricant, because usually it requires like a lot of lubricant. Because it's sandy on the beaches of Hawaii, so it gets that way. I'm waiting for Aeolus to pop in here and say his famous line. But anyway, yeah, so back to Bangladesh. No, we were done in Bangladesh. People often wonder actually how we got back to Hawaii from Bangladesh, because actually that was where I met my wife. I feel like Sokka in that one episode of Last Airbender. Yeah, wrong audience. Panda, I have no idea what that means. Aeolus, you are very famous. Yeah. So we actually decided we were going to take the raft back to Hawaii from Bangladesh, but it turned out that it had been taken by the natives and used for firewood. So instead we just started walking, and we went through like all of the countries, so like India, Pakistan, you know, everything in between. But we eventually got to Spain, and Cobra finally mostly coherent, but very drunk, very drunk. I mean, he was drinking the whole way, but not like the regular alcohols, right? You know that that alcohol that they make from milk, like in Mongolia, it's like fermented milk. Like he was off on that, and so he was probably hallucinating at the time as well. And he was like, "Oh, the land of my ancestors." I was like, "Bro, don't get me wrong, and I'm not racially profiling or anything, but you don't look like these people." And then he actually started talking in Spanish to me, and I was like, "Okay." Cool. But that was where I met my wife. Was right there in Spain. He actually introduced me. He said, "This is my cousin, Kamana Walea." And I guess she did. So there we went. Not that episode. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel? You talking about the secret tunnel that you dug from Utah to Colorado? After you stole all those famous art pieces and then kept them in the caves and mountains? We're talking about that secret difference. Secrete tunnel. Okay, right. It's the secrete tunnel. Oh. You're talking about your man tunnel. Got it. That actually paints a really awkward visual. Yeah. So, back to things about Cobra, because he really wanted to talk about himself today. Actually, he really wanted me to talk about him today. So here we are talking about him. Here's the fun part is, I actually told him that I was going to be telling lies about him all night. So imagine his surprise hearing me tell all of the really, really true stories. Very exciting. Let's see. I'm going to find a really interesting conversation that we had. This was several months ago. It was with Justin Timberlake. And actually, Justin at the time wasn't famous yet. We were all pretty young, but he was working in a suit, not factory, but like you know, like in like Kingsman, where like they have their whole secret agency run out of this suit shop. Y'all familiar with that? Tell me you keep that on the down low, man. Sorry about that, Panda. I'll be more careful next time. Bespoke. Yeah, but this was like bespoke before the internet. So, yes. So we went in there, and Justin's in there, and Cobra's in there, and they are, well, Cobra's sitting in Justin's lap, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I see you're having a fine time here." And Cobra says, "Yeah, I was just getting fitted for a new suit." And so he stood up, put his pants back on, and it's so I should share a GIF. I'm actually looking at a GIF that was shared between he and I, and it's actually Justin Timberlake going, "Really, man?" And so every time I look at it, I can't help but think he's talking to me like, "Really? You're giving away all my secrets?" It's called Bespoke. That's where the company gets its name from. Yes. Yes. A Bespoke? A Bespoke? I mean, a speakeasy? You know, I've been to one or two of those. Yeah, me and Justin aren't talking anymore. He tried to steal my last coconut. And that would make it hard to communicate, actually, via coconut. What's it called? Sorry, I'm getting this weird crackle in my speakers. It's actually kind of pissing me off. Wait for it. Bad noise. Not gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. Moving on. Yeah. So crackle is coming through to stream 2 only on music. That would tell me that it's the app that's doing it. Wonder why it's doing that. Good music too. I didn't do my shout out to Harris Heller like he needs any introduction from me. But he does make this music for free for me and for you, and we all listen to it and we hear it. And unfortunately, it's a little crackly tonight. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just close the music for now, and we'll just restart that. Hey, what's your favorite kind of music, Cobra? The man himself, indeed. Indeed, it is that man. Man, we've had a lot of conversations, Cobra. I'm having a hard time getting through all this. I'm not a smart man. That was a good conversation. There's pictures of me shooting my guns. I want to go way back. Like these are some of the more normal conversations that we have about aliens and how they actually live in the oceans. Actually, I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Hawaiian religion was actually started by aliens in the oceans. Um, because if you're not familiar with the history of it, aliens actually originally settled on the bottom of the ocean. This was before the waters really rose up, and so they had a little bit of room to get to and from the top. But ultimately, when the waters did start rising and people started inhabiting the islands over there, they made appearances from time to time. And so the religion of Hawaii is the religion of these aliens. They call it Kapu, which of course means sweetheart, which obviously is sort of an oxymoron. Not really an oxymoron. It's a sweet. Well, anyway, that's actually where the candy got its name from as well. Was from the Hawaiian word kapu. Now you know. No, 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 no. We need one of the deep conversations. Still open to anybody else popping in and saying things if they want to say things while I'm doing that. So I got a little indigestion here. I'm gonna pop over to Stream Elements and just see who's winning right now. Are you like waiting on me? No. Oh. Why did I offer to get you your food? I can tell you the specials for today if you'd like. No? Fine too. Let's see. Our current leaderboard. Do okay. There is actually a rule, by the way, and I should have mentioned it earlier before we really got started on this. But if you chose a topic this month, you can't choose a topic again until the next month. So our current leader on the leaderboard is Mr. President Streaming. However, because he picked the topic, if he ends up being on top, it's going to be whoever's that. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Aeolus is, of course, directly behind him, as is his favorite position. He is behind Prez. Okay, but he didn't know that, so like, it's okay. He can still come in second and decide what the background is. You can feel however you want, and I'm just gonna let you know right now that I give exactly 0 fucks. Glad we're clear on that. All right. I'm out of material, guys. I don't know. Oh, and you know what? We've only said all these fun, true things about Hawaii Cobra. So let's tell some lies now. Let's tell some lies. Do you know that the first conversation that I had with Cobra on Discord was actually on May 25th, 2022? That was last year. That was a little over a year ago. I did in fact meet him through the gaming streaming community of Pipeline, which is a networking community built by the one and only Stone Mountain 64 and his co-owner Snoopy. He's Irish. Yeah. So we met a little bit through that, and he actually was doing this really cool thing. Cobra was where he was trying to get all of his friends in one place, and he had his little what did you call that again, Cobra? It was the Cobra's luau room, Cobra's happy endings. Anyway, it was a huge sausage fest. There were what 10 of us in there, and we couldn't get any bigger, and so we're like, hey, let's make this bigger. And so we spread out and took it in the ass. It was uncomfortable to say the least, but eventually we started building up steam, and I know, I know what I said. Uh, so anyway, yeah, so we met through the community, and Cobra's actually a really good guy, despite some of his weird things with mooses and cows. Um, Bovines in general, and I think it's really he just likes the way that their fur feels against his skin, which is fine, to each his own. It's the licking that really gets me, though. But aside from those kind of off points, he's actually a really cool
Are you
dude.
dumb? That's so wrong.
All right, Panda, why? Why is it wrong? Are moose and bovine? Moose and are bovine, actually. They're interchangeable with cows, really. Wait, I didn't know that to do that. Well, it did. So are you agreeing with me or are you not agreeing with me? Thought it would be that's so wrong. Absolutely not. No, maybe I should clarify some of those things are very specifically to give you a way to disagree with me or agree with me. Excuse me. Without having to type it out or jump into the voice chat or however. But that is very wrong. It is. But we don't fault him for that because everybody kind of has their own things.
I agree with this. Good job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Your validation really means a lot to me. I really wish that I had real family members in this real world who would actually, agree with me on anything at all, really. So yeah. So that's that. What was I trying to say? Bovine, yeah. Cobra is actually a really cool dude. He is a snake. He is, in fact, born out of a volcano. Um, had a thing. I had a thing. It was actually his own thing. His deadly skin. Beer buddies. That actually did have something to do with it. We do have a request for audio only, and it is in fact um, he's not a real person, so I don't know that I should really allow this, but I'm gonna go ahead and slot him. Not like that, Cobra. I know what you're thinking. Do not intend on slotting. This is a rare occurrence. Actual real life bros agreeing. Well, probably should spend more time with me and my bros because we agree on a lot of stuff. Just none of that millennial shit, you know? All that weird stuff that sometimes gets said by millennials, like my brother. Speaking of my brother, ladies and gentlemen, in voice only, we have the one and only Aeolus 120. Aeolus, are you with us? Best I can do is a cartoon. Yes, he does cartoons frequently.
Can't hear you in the stage thing. Am I supposed to be able to hear you right now?
There he is. Can you hear me now?
No. I'm listening to you through your stream. So it's like delayed.
Well, that is because mine decided it wanted to be set to the wrong thing. Can you hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, hey, how you doing today?
Hey. Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hey,
You're as
hey,
welcome
there are
as can
lots of
be.
hoes there. What-
howdy, brother.
What's up? What are you doing? What did you want to say?
Oh well, you were talking about your experience with Cobra in Canada,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
wild.
reminded me of a couple experiences that I had with Cobra that are
That's
due to
great.
my
Yeah,
heart. Yeah.
we'd love to hear it.
Um.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one's actually a story you reminded me of. I had practically forgotten about my aviation incident, we'll call it, in Alaska. Um, yeah, it was, geez, what was it, 13 years ago now.
This was after
Cobra and I,
the moose incident. Then,
oh, a bit.
yeah, because he went straight to Alaska after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you introduced us, so
I know that, obviously.
obviously it had to be after the moose incident if you met him then. Um, Anyway, yeah, I was flying in Alaska. I had just gotten my, multiple engine pilot's license. And I decided that I wanted to do some
You know what your
difficult
problem
practice
is?
through Alaska. Cobra
You're all
being
brains,
the
not enough cock and
extremely
balls.
talented pilot he is, offered to guide me through the mountainous area, the very dangerous um, terrain.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I can't talk much about what happened next that led to me losing, unfortunately, my pilot's license and permanently being banned from Russia. But I will say this. I will say this. If you have never been skydiving in Nepal, Cobra is the person to do it with.
Yeah.
And I know this from a flight gone wrong. We'll put it that way. But his expertise and experience as a pilot, as a skydiver, and with the Nepalese language, as well as basic knowledge of Russian radio frequencies, really got us through in a time of need. Um, and so I will always appreciate him for that and letting me know what a parachute looked like, because I thought it was just a big backpack, to be honest. Um, things they don't teach you in pilot school, as it turns out.
Well, I'll tell you what. From what I understand, you got religion real quick on that trip. You were like,
I,
I'm Hindu, Buddhism, Judaism. You're like, whatever it is,
all
I'm gonna
four.
be all of them
Yep,
just to cover my bases.
that's right. Yeah, especially Buddhism. I mean, look, when you're nursed back to health by a witch doctor in Mexico,
Mhm.
you start believing in a lot of things.
Well, that was an El Nino year, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh? What was that?
I said that was an El Nino year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's true.
which really actually explained a lot um, in terms of how you arrived back in Mexico.
Look, again, I can't get into
Right.
it, but special thank you to the Vatican for
The
what they
Pope's
did that day.
not all not as prude as you think he'd be. He's actually pretty chill. Weren't you talking about mushrooms and smoking weed with him when you got out of Nepal?
Not
Oh,
weed. No,
you know
he's
what?
actually
That's
super against weed.
probably
No.
the part you're not supposed to talk about, isn't it?
No, not weed, not weed. Shrooms all day.
Shrooms
I
all
tell
day.
you what, that
Right.
gentleman. Yeah, I tell you what, I saw God.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And he's not talking about Cobra's penis. Although he saw that as well.
I certainly am.
Well, hey, I appreciate you jumping in and giving us a little taste of your experience with him.
Yeah.
That's a taste that we can never get out of our mouths, and we all really appreciate that, I think. We've got an ad going on, though, so...
Well, I'm glad that we'll have the opportunity to cleanse our palates together.
Yeah. Yeah. How's that music? Is that music coming through better now?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna dip out now.
All right,
Thanks
hey
for
man,
having
thank
me.
you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Talk to you
Yeah,
later.
I hope that somebody was inspired, and I hope that Cobra appreciated reminiscing.
I think 100%
good
that is what's happening. Hey, welcome back,
Awesome.
Hawaiian Cobra. I hope you enjoyed your ad break. I do hope you clicked on the links because that does help support this channel. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Yeah. So speaking of parachute pants, there was a goat that I met once, and it actually reminded me of Cobra, and I'll tell you why. It was the bah! Like that. Just for some reason, it really took me back to the time when we were backpacking Machu Picchu, and you know, he was just all over those rocks. I mean, this guy was crazy good at climbing rocks, which you wouldn't know because if you know Cobra, he's a big dude. I mean, he's like picture like The Rock, okay, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's what Cobra looks like. Okay, so you know, big and muscular, but not particularly spry. But you know, he actually was definitely doing a lot of jumping all over rocks and things of that nature. So, you know, let's talk about where Cobra comes from. You know, he was born in a volcano. He never really specified which one, though, and so I've taken the liberty to actually look up his genealogy. He was actually born in Vesuvius. So his ancestry, while it is Hawaiian, actually comes from Greece. In fact, my first parachute pants were a gift from MC Hammer. It was made from a real parachute. That's great. That's so cool. That's super cool. You know what? That actually explains a lot of what happened in Canada. So thank you for that. Yeah, so born in Vesuvius, he actually was in fact raised by the Greek gods. Originally, they cast him out, and he later on was known as Maui until he took his human form as the Hawaiian Cobra that we know today. So if he can say anything, then he'll say, "You're welcome." There's that. You're welcome. Shh. He doesn't want me to give away his secret life of who's its and what's its. So, I don't know. I don't know where do we want to go from here. I don't have a co-host today. I didn't mention before that we weren't going to have a co-host, and the reason was I feel impotent when I'm around other people. I feel as though maybe they just always know more than me, and so I don't want to bring anybody on anymore that knows more than I do. What is that? Is that the Bad Sniper Gaming logo? What am I looking at? Alright, I don't know. It's too tiny. I don't know what that is. Okay. Yeah, so as far as real life interactions with Cobra goes, I don't know if you all know about Cobra and my's relationship. Not that relationship, the other one is we're actually cousins. Not blood cousins though, so we're actually related by marriage. Through his stepfather, in fact. Who, you know, God rest his soul, we don't really talk about anymore. But we actually happened to both be visiting him one day in the cemetery, and you know, I was like, "Oh, hey, man, you remember that time that we met in Canada?" And he was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Well, you were really high, so that makes sense." So. If you haven't checked out Hawaiian Cobra on Twitch yet, I definitely recommend that you do that. He streams a lot of different games, mostly first and third person shooters. He was doing Fork Knife he was doing today. Normally he plays Apex. He is in fact an Apex god, from what I've heard, though I've never actually seen him win a game. But we call each other cuz. Yeah, I know that's what I mean. Cousins, right? That's how we're related. Like, part of me wants to kind of just like drop all the funny stuff and just be like, yo, Cobra's such a good dude. I bought him a Hawaiian shirt one time. I don't know if anybody knows that me and Cobra actually know each other so well that we send each other gifts. His wife is, in fact, rather his girlfriend's mother is making me some kimchi. She's sending it my way. Like, you know, I send him, you know, nude pictures and stuff, which I don't know. He never really responds to, so I don't know how he feels about those. But again, you know, Holly. So there's that. But anyway, yeah. So I sent him a Hawaiian shirt, and it didn't fit. It didn't fit him. But what happened was he put it on to show me. I was like, you should probably put some pants on to go with it. And he was like, nah. And I was like, okay. And then he flexed like this. He's all, and those things just burst at the seams. I mean, this guy is so muscular. I wouldn't call it an Aloha shirt, though. You know, I don't think it was friendly enough. Just wanted. Is that what it is? You know, you send a guy dick pics and all he wants is feet. Okay. I'm gonna write that down in my dad jokes notebook. Send Cobra feet pics. Send Cobra my feet. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, Cobra, did you have anything that you wanted to say? I know you're salty that I didn't invite you on as a co-host, but I did that for a reason. I wanted you to have an opportunity to sit back and just enjoy. But, you know, I would love to give you a chance to pop in here and, you know, say your piece. Maybe you have a story that you remember about yourself that you wanted to share. Maybe. Did you? This is gonna be a real quiet stream, you guys. You're naturally salty. I mean, I don't know. I haven't licked you in a while. I don't feel comfortable with that. I shouldn't have done that. Were you on Oahu when Korea tried to nuke attack us? Nuke attack us, like, because that's what they say. I'm too high to remember anything. Need 2, 3, 4 extra points if feet pics have a flip-flop tan line. Oh my goodness, you are actually 100%. Alright, 100% correct there. If they don't have a tan line though, like that could go one of two ways. Because you could be like the weirdo that only goes out with shoes on, or you don't wear shoes anywhere. Which I don't really know which one is more weird. Because you really should have the slipper tan line. In Hawaii, they call them slippers, in case you're wondering. And to say it correctly, it's actually slippas. So flip-flops equals slippas, right? Just so you know, I'm clarifying so that Cobra can actually understand what's being spoken. He doesn't speak a lot of English. He mostly talks in grunts and sighs. Nah, it's the fancy Sandel tan. Ooh, that is fancy. Sandel tan line with the crisscross lines or a weird flower or something. Slipper, that's right, cuz slipper. Yeah. Look, if you could send me feet pics that have the tan line, but with the flower, like from this The fancy sandals. Yeah, definitely extra points for that. But we're not really talking about extra points. I don't give out extra points. There is one way. No, I don't spell good. Clearly, you've proven that time and time again. But it's okay. I'm gonna continue reading it wrong anyway. Yeah. What was I about to say? I was about to say a thing. Yeah, there's only one way to get 2 ways, 3 ways. There's only a few ways to get those points. And guys, we're getting to the end of our shift. I'm not gonna lie. I had a feeling this was gonna be kind of a shorter conversation, just because I can only make up so much. I mean, remember so much stuff off of the top of my head. I don't spell at all. It's be difficult. Sorry for your condition. Yeah, so we probably will actually wrap it up over the next 10 minutes or so here. I'm hoping for a lot of awkward pauses, probably some sighing. I am likely to cough or sneeze into the microphone at any given moment. Always welcome. I could talk about the literal Hawaiian Cobra. That's difficult because Hawaiian Cobra is in fact illiterate. Still haven't got my milkmaids I was promised. The dairy farm shut down, man. We don't do that anymore. We're all about topics of conversation, you know, talking about things like aliens and religion and non-existent snakes in Hawaii. You know, that's actually an interesting point, though. I was... Hey, you know what? I think I wrote this down somewhere. Hold on. No, that. I wanted to talk about mongooses. Mongooses. Mongoosin? Does anybody understand that there is a mongoose problem in Hawaii? At least on Oahu. I don't know if it's the same in the other islands. I can't read. I use text to speech. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. He's all A-ala-A. Ole. I forgot Hawaiian words for a second. I was going to say something, but they completely fled my mind. Mongoosin. Mongoosin. That's the plural for mongoose. Ladies and gentlemen, are a problem in Hawaii, and I'm going to tell you why. It is because mongoose were actually brought in. We all hate them assholes, for sure. Were brought to Hawaii to get rid of the snakes. Because some idiot brought snakes over and it was like, yo, they don't belong here. But you know what's actually interesting, and this is kind of funny to think about, is snakes are not endemic to the Hawaiian Islands. But neither are pineapples, but you don't see people trying to get rid of those. They're like, oh, pineapples are Hawaii! And they're like, well, they're not though, really. You want to know something else that's crazy? Hawaiians think that aloe, like aloe vera, comes from Hawaii, and they pronounce it aloe. Aloe. They pronounce all of the letters. It's wrong. It's wrong. So anyway, they brought in the mongooses to get rid of the snakes. The problem is mongooses are nocturnal, and the snakes are not so nocturnal. And so what happened is, it didn't get rid of the snakes. They had to find some other ways of doing that, and now there's a mongoose problem. You didn't know that, but now you know. Now you know. We're just gonna play this one more time because I like it and I want to rack up some points.
You know what your problem is? You're all brains, not enough cock and balls.
Right. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. All right, well, hey, listen, if we don't have much else to say, if nobody else wants to pop in and give a shout out to Cobra or anybody else, or just say something weird, inappropriate, or otherwise fun and entertaining, we're gonna tally up them points, them humble opinions, which, as always, I'm happy to give out all of my humble opinions. If you but ask, knock, and ye shall receive.
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay. I'm all the way gay. I'm completely homosexual in every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and announce our winners for tonight. I'm going to have to refresh this because I don't think it's correct. Oh, what happened? I broke it. Oh no. Our song's getting all scratchy again. You know what I think it is? I think it's my interwebs. Holy mackerel, Mr. President streaming came in with a whopping 3,100 humble opinions. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I would be remiss if I gave that to anybody else. He doubled Aeolus's points. So you know what? For the sake of being fair, and since this wasn't a rule when he got most of those points, we're gonna go ahead and let Mr. President streaming pick our topic for next week. So don't draw me. You wanted this. Fine. But don't worry, you with your 1,400 points will get to choose what my background is going to be. Okay, so as usual, the rules are don't say anything or send anything that is going to get me kicked off of Twitch. No pornographic materials, Aeolus. I know how you are about your dick pics, and I will not be having one of those here. I mean, I did bring Cobra's enormous snake, but you know, it's different. So Mr. President streaming, if you're out there, you've got yourself 5 minutes to determine what the next topic is going to be for next week. If you don't get it, you missed the timer, because I'm going to give you until 20 minutes after the hour. You might not even be watching anymore, but that's all right. I'm calling him out anyway. But if I don't get a response from you, I am going to give the opportunity to Aeolus to pick.
If liking women makes me gay, then I'm gay. I'm all the way gay.
All the way.
I'm completely homosexual in every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I am going to tell you there, me, JP234. You were close. Hey, where'd you go? You were on the list a second ago. You were close. I don't know what happened. You were really close. Maybe DM him. Maybe he has to follow the rules just like everybody else. There's that. Okay. Woo. Yeah, you know what, I was wrong. You weren't coming up as close as I was thinking. I was seeing a different name that was similar to yours. Alright. I'm gonna DM him. I know, I'm gonna break the rules. See if he gets back to me. He's a busy man. He's getting busy, man.
Drop fast, eat ass, boys. Let's go.
Move it, move it, move it. We need to get Gaussen on here, man. I haven't seen him in a hot minute. Well, hey, while we're waiting for my actual real-life brother to send me an image for our background for next week, and for President to get us our topic, I do want to shamelessly plug the Creators Lounge. If any of you don't know what the Creators Lounge is, it is a community of creators for creators, and it is free to everyone. We are a small network of people who are doing stuff on the internet, and it's a lot of fun. We do monthly meetups, not in person, though that is in the foreseeable future. There is a link to it in the stuff in my pants. I mean, in my information's there. Hey, look who's here. Look who decided to come back and claim his reward. Fantastic. Fantastico. Yeah, so the Creators Lounge, go ahead and click on the link down there. Just follow the instructions that say you're going to follow the rules or get your ass kicked out. And you can be a part of our club. Our fun club. I'm not presenting this well. I don't feel like it's coming out the right way. Just push the button, see what happens. Yes, I'm sorry. I was actually getting to your question. I hadn't gotten there quite yet. I like bell peppers a lot because they're delicious. Serranos are... I don't care that much for the flavor of them. I really like habaneros. I like jalapenos. There is this pepper called a scorpion pepper that a friend of mine who's a farmer introduced me to, and it's quite hot. Content creations and the impact it has on society. Okay. Señor Presidente. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. You know this isn't a Creators Lounge podcast, right? You know this is like it does. We don't have to like. I know it's been kind of weird, but and I know that's what you want to talk about, and that's totally fine. Whenever Howleys say they like spicy food, they're exaggerating. You guys make this thing called what's it called? Like Hawaiian pepper water or whatever, and you put it on stuff. That's not hot, and I think you guys use those little red Hawaiian peppers is what they call them. But you basically put them in water and let them soak. So yes, whenever Howleys say they like spicy food, they're exaggerating. And I like spicy food. I mean, I don't go like super hot when I want to actually enjoy my food, but yeah, I mean, I've eaten some hot peppers. Tabasco is spicy for them. Tabasco is delicious. Tabasco is delicious. All right, so we do have our topic for next week provided by Mr. President Streaming. It is going to be content creation and sounds like two topics to me. Just kidding. And I need to gauge your kimchi tastes. Oh no! Do it full hot. No, I like real authentic Korean kimchi. So my wife has a friend. So she was a missionary for our church, and one of the other women that she was with was a Korean girl. And after they came home, I actually had a chance to meet her and stay with her family, her and her husband, for a little while we were looking for a place. And she made the most amazing kimchi. And I had never had it like fresh, actually made by somebody who knows what they're doing. But when I ate that, I was like, oh, I will never get the store-bought jar crab again. So that's the kind of kimchi I like. So you're gonna make it hot, you make it hot. If it's not hot going in and coming out, it's not hot enough. That's probably true. And there we go. Impacts. No, P first, then A. Impacts. Where did it go? Where did it go? It has on society. That actually is a good topic, and I'm going to tell you why that's a good topic for me. Not just because of the Creators Lounge, because I am, technically a content creator, though I consider myself more of a facilitator. I'm more, I like to help content creators to do their thing. So, I have opinions on social media, content creators and some of the shit that's out there, that goes into, and actually you're probably a lot on the same page as I am, because we talk about, certain things that are distractions and things anyway, we'll talk more about it next week. But I certainly hope you're ready to jump in on voice and voice some of your opinions on that as well. I will probably be looking for a co-host, so if you are interested in co-hosting, you're welcome to reach out to me on Discord or my email address. I think my email. Hey, thanks for that. Really appreciate that, Cobra. I missed that one. I think I tried to push that up to the top of the list, so I want people to play that one. Yeah. So a couple things that are changing going forward, just so y'all know. First of all, was the thing that I mentioned earlier about the topics, trying to keep things a little bit more broad, which I think this one's a good one, Prez. So don't worry. I like it, and let's be honest, it doesn't matter if I like it or not. I'm going to run with it because that's what the show is all about. I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm doing what y'all want to do. But I may or may not have co-hosts going forward, or at least not as regularly. At least not until, things pick up, right? I only know so many people, and as much as I want to keep it a good conversation, like I think, we had a good conversation here today. I don't mind ending a little bit earlier than usual, but now I'm mostly just droning on and on and on and on. It really does help to have somebody here to talk with me. So yeah, I think we'll plan on having a co-host, or if not a like chosen ahead of time co-host, like I'll just randomly select somebody who happens to be in the thing and be like, hey, you can be our co-host for today. Woo! Like, I think that might be fun. I was actually thinking of doing something for like channel points for that, cancel points rather. Making it so like, okay, boom, 1,000 points, you're the co-host for the rest of the stream or for the next 5 minutes or whatever. I don't know. Please feel free to send me suggestions on how you think that our little live podcast here could be made better, and ways that we can make it more interactive, because that's really what I'm trying to get out of all of this, is make it interactive. I want everybody to participate as much as you can, as much as you want to. I'm not going to trample all over your feelings, except that I probably will. But still, don't be afraid. Still participate. It's going to be fun for everyone, especially me. Is that it? I don't think that's it. My brother hasn't sent me that image yet. Oh, you're going to lose out. You better send me something. Or make it good. Send it to me. I'm still waiting. Step on me, Daddy. I think you mean don't tread on me. You're the wrong kind of snake for that. Let's play with my sounds real quick, guys, because we do have some new ones. I do want to show them off a little bit. This is a good one. Nobody used this one tonight.
No, you big piece of shit.
That one makes me happy because it's got the music from Super Mario Brothers #2 in the background to it. That's a good one. Let's see, what do we got? Do you know what your problem is? I like that one a lot, because he uses the term cock and balls, which is hilarious. 10,000 cancel points still gets me to sing you a song, by the way. That is still there. It was not accidentally left on there. I will 100% still do that for channel points. Not tonight, though. Don't do it tonight. Chat telling him not to be a dick. Are we done? We're done. We're done with the ad break. There it is. Okay, the ad break is over, and I think we're gonna actually call it a wrap tonight. So we have our topic for next week. We are ready to go next week. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Please keep in mind that we are gonna be posting clips from tonight's stream throughout the week on TikTok and also TikTok. Sorry, got me thinking about Cobra's wiener. We'll be posting those on TikTok throughout the week. We are going to go ahead and post the full episode of this next Monday. So if you missed it tonight, sorry, you're going to have to wait a whole week until you get to actually watch it. And then hopefully join us next week when we go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only right here on Twitch, Milkman BSGE. And be prepared for an all-around good time. And in the meantime, you can go ahead and check out the Creators Lounge. Links are in the About section below. We are on Discord. It is a free group to join. We got a bunch of cool people who like to do content creation as well. Definitely follow them if you want to do that, because, you know, let's be honest, they can use the help. I'm just playing. That wasn't very nice of me. What do you say we raid somebody? What do we want to raid? Who are we gonna raid? Let's take a look-see at who is live. I do like to first and foremost see if Creators Lounge people are on. I see that it's Hannah. It's Hannah. She rebranded recently, so if you know who Big Biddies is, it's Hannah is her name now on Twitch here. We're gonna go ahead and give her a raid. She is playing Apex Legends, so go ahead and pop on over there when we send you over with the raid, and don't forget to let her know that you were sent by the one and only David Cobb, aka Milkman of Bad Sniper Gaming and Entertainment. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Hang tight, we're gonna be right on our way. Wait for